Liam had always dreamed of discovering something extraordinary, something no human had ever seen. Now, standing on the soft, glowing moss of Valora, he felt the weight of that dream pressing against his chest. The planet's sky shimmered in shades of lavender and gold, and the gentle hum of unseen creatures filled the air. He adjusted his explorer's visor, scanning the alien forest with keen eyes. Every step revealed something new. Vines that glowed like starlight, flowers that pulsed softly in time with the planet's rhythm, and trees that seemed to float above the ground, their roots suspended in mid-air. He moved carefully, knowing that a misstep could damage something fragile, or worse, disturb a creature he didn't understand. Valora was a paradise untouched by human hands, a place where nature and life had evolved in ways both beautiful and strange. Liam was not just an explorer. He was a guest, and he felt a deep responsibility to respect this world. As he rounded a bend, he froze. There, in a small clearing, stood a figure unlike anything he had imagined. A young alien girl, no taller than a human teenager, watched him with wide, shimmering eyes. Her skin reflected the colors of the forest, silver blue with hints of soft violet, and tiny luminescent patterns ran across her arms like veins of light. Her hair floated around her face as if suspended by some gentle current, and her eyes, large, expressive, and glimmering, locked onto his with an intensity that made his heart skip a beat. The girl froze entirely, as if the very sight of him had stopped her in place. Liam, unsure whether to step forward or retreat, raised a hand slowly, trying to show he meant no harm. "Hello," he said softly, careful not to startle her. "I'm Liam, I come in peace." The alien's voice, when it finally came, was soft and melodic, though tinged with panic. "My species has only one mate," she whispered, her words trembling. "And you claimed me." Liam blinked. What?" He had no idea what she was talking about. He had not claimed anything. He had not. Well, at least he thought he hadn't. Illyra's eyes widened further, and she took a careful step back. She looked around as if searching for help, then looked back at him. "You do not understand," she said. "The gesture, the touch. It is a claim. It cannot be undone. My entire life. It belongs to you now." Liam's mind raced. The only thing he had done was extend a hand to help her when she stumbled over a glowing vine. He had meant it as a friendly gesture, an offer of help, nothing more. And yet, apparently in her culture, it meant something far more significant. "I didn't mean to claim you," he said quickly, holding up his hands. "I just wanted to help. I didn't know." Illyra's expression softened slightly, but the tension in her body remained. "It is not your fault," she said. "But the law of my people is clear. Once claimed, the bond exists. The elders must decide what to do." Liam swallowed. "Elders? Where is your village?" Illyra hesitated, then gestured toward a path that twisted through the glowing forest. "You will come with me. They must see you. They must hear your words. Only then will the bond be understood properly." He nodded, though his stomach was tight with nerves. Walking beside her, he tried to take in the world around him. The forest was alive in ways he had never seen. Small creatures with translucent wings flitted between the trees, leaving trails of sparkling dust behind. The floating roots of enormous trees arched above them, forming natural bridges. The air itself seemed to vibrate with soft colors, as if the planet itself were singing a quiet, invisible song. Illyra moved with grace, her steps light and precise. Liam struggled to keep pace, not just because of the uneven terrain, but because he felt an unspoken tension in the air. She glanced at him occasionally, her large eyes filled with curiosity and wariness. Every so often she would touch a glowing flower or trace a vine with her fingertips, and the plant would respond with a soft pulse of light, as if recognizing her presence. "I am Illyra," she said finally, breaking the silence. "I do not know what will happen when we reach the elders. My people are traditional. They do not take lightly a bond claimed by accident." "I understand," Liam said, "and I promise I will respect your people. I won't try to take anything from you. I just want to understand." Her eyes studied him, searching for signs of deception. After a moment, she nodded slightly. "Then you will need to learn our ways. Every step, every gesture has meaning. Even words can be dangerous if misused." As they walked deeper into the forest, Liam noticed more peculiar things. The air shimmered with tiny floating lights like fireflies made of liquid crystal. Trees bent and swayed in patterns that seemed almost choreographed, and the ground beneath their feet felt soft and alive, as if the planet itself were breathing. He was about to comment when Elira suddenly stopped. "Wait," she whispered, her voice tense. Liam followed her gaze to a small clearing where the air shimmered more intensely. The elders of her village stood there. Tall, elegant figures whose skin reflected the light of the forest like polished gemstones. Their eyes, deep and knowing, fixed on him immediately. Elira stepped forward, lowering her head slightly in a gesture of respect. "They will decide," she murmured. Liam swallowed hard and stepped forward cautiously. "I am Liam," he said, bowing slightly in return. "I did not mean to cause offense. I am here to learn and to understand." The eldest of the group, a figure with silver skin that shimmered like liquid moonlight, stepped forward. "You claim her?" the elder asked, voice gentle but firm. Liam shook his head quickly. "No, it was an accident. I only helped her when she fell. I didn't know your customs, and I didn't mean to claim anyone." The elder studied him closely, their glowing eyes examining every nuance of his expression. After a long moment, they spoke. "Intent matters, yet the bond has been initiated. What you do now will determine the path forward, not only for her, but for your presence here." Elira's eyes flicked to Liam. I do not know if he can understand our ways," she whispered. "I want to," Liam said firmly. "I want to learn everything." "Please let me show you I respect your customs." The elders conferred quietly among themselves, their voices blending into a soft hum that Liam could feel more than hear. Finally, the eldest turned back to him. "Very well," they said. "You will walk with her through our sacred forest. You will follow our rules and observe our customs. Only then will the bond's meaning be clarified." Relief washed over Liam, though he felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him. He glanced at Elira, who nodded slightly. She led the way into a deeper part of the forest, where the trees arched into luminous tunnels and the ground sparkled with tiny lights. As they walked, Elira began to explain the basics of her culture. Every gesture, she said, carried meaning. Even eye contact could communicate respect, trust, or challenge. Bonds were sacred, and a claim, accidental or not, was not a joke. Liam listened intently, realizing how much he had taken for granted on Earth. Here, every action mattered, every interaction carried weight. Hours passed as they moved through the forest, the alien world revealing its secrets. Liam helped Elira gather luminous fruits, learning which ones were edible and which were used for rituals. He watched in awe as her fingers danced over floating streams of light, shaping them into temporary bridges. Each time he tried, the streams would disperse, but she encouraged him gently, never mocking his mistakes. By the time they reached a clearing for the night, Liam felt a strange sense of connection, not just to Elira, but to Valora itself. The planet was alive in a way he could feel in his bones, and he realized that understanding Elira's world meant respecting it in every way. As they settled near a softly glowing pond, Elira finally spoke. "You are patient," she said quietly. "Most humans would not endure this. Most would rush or demand. You wait and learn." Liam smiled, tired but happy. "I don't want to make mistakes," he admitted. "I want to understand. I want to do this right, for you and for your people." She looked at him for a long moment, then nodded. "Perhaps there is hope," she said. "But the elders will decide tomorrow. Everything depends on their judgment." The night deepened, filled with the gentle hum of Valora's life. Liam gazed at the glowing sky, feeling both excitement and trepidation. He had come to this world seeking discovery, but he had found something far more complex and beautiful, a connection that required patience, respect, and courage. And somewhere in the depths of the forest, the elders watched silently, their luminous eyes reflecting both the planet's light and the possibilities that lay ahead. Liam drifted into sleep with one thought on his mind. No matter what happened, he would honor this world, Elira, and the bond, accidental though it was, that had begun between them. The morning light of Valora seeped through the translucent canopy, casting a soft glow across the forest. Liam awoke to the gentle hum of the planet, the air shimmering as if alive with energy. Beside him, Elira was already awake, her luminous eyes reflecting the dancing light of the glowing pond. She moved with quiet precision, brushing her fingers over the surface of the water, making ripples that glowed with soft colors. "You slept well?" she asked, her voice gentle but curious. I did, Liam replied, sitting up and rubbing his eyes. Valora, it feels alive. I've never experienced anything like this. Elira nodded. It responds to those who respect it. The forest will show you its secrets if you walk carefully and observe. After a brief breakfast of small luminescent fruits Elira had gathered, they set off toward the heart of her village. Liam's curiosity could barely be contained. Every step revealed more wonders. Vines that hummed softly when touched, flowers that changed colors according to the emotions of those nearby, and small creatures that floated gracefully, leaving trails of sparkling light in their wake. Your world, it's incredible, Liam said, marveling at the delicate balance of life surrounding him. Everywhere I look, it's like everything has a purpose, a story. Elira glanced at him, a faint smile forming on her lips. That is true. Our people believe that every creature, every plant, every sound is part of a larger harmony. To understand one part, you must understand the whole. As they approached the village, Liam could see the dwellings, small, delicate structures made of translucent, crystal-like material, suspended among the floating roots of massive trees. The buildings glowed softly, reflecting the light of the forest. Bridges made of woven vines connected the homes, moving gently like threads of light in the breeze. The elders were waiting near the central square, their presence commanding yet serene. Their skin shimmered in different shades, each reflecting the light uniquely, and their eyes held wisdom that seemed to span centuries. Elira stepped forward, bowing slightly in respect. Liam followed suit, trying to mirror her careful gestures. The eldest, a tall figure with deep silver skin, stepped forward. You come willingly to understand, the elder said, voice calm yet firm. That is the first sign of respect. But understanding goes beyond words. You must learn our customs, our ways, and our bond with this land before the bond can be clarified. Liam nodded earnestly. I want to learn. I want to understand her world and her people. The elder studied him for a long moment, then gestured for him to follow. You will stay with Elira for 3 cycles of the sun. During this time you will observe, participate, and show your willingness to respect and learn. Only then will we determine how to proceed. Elira glanced at him nervously. 3 cycles. It may seem long, but it is important. Our people do not rush decisions regarding bonds. Liam smiled. I can wait. I want to do this right. The next hours passed as they moved through the village. Liam observed how the aliens interacted with their environment. Small luminous creatures were tended like pets, yet they were free to roam and return at will. Floating gardens hovered above the village, nourished by streams of glowing water that Liam could hardly comprehend. Elira explained that each plant and creature was connected to the village's well-being, and disturbing one without care could disrupt the balance. You see, Elira said, leading him to a small clearing, every action matters. Even something small can change the rhythm of life here. That is why bonds are sacred. They are not just between 2 individuals, they connect to the harmony of all life around us. Liam listened intently, realizing how different this was from anything on Earth. Here, respect was not just a social expectation, it was a guiding principle that connected all life. Throughout the day, he participated in various customs. He learned to communicate with the luminous plants using gestures and tones that mirrored their subtle pulsing. At first, the plants ignored him, but with Elira's guidance he managed to coax a small vine to bend gently toward him, as if acknowledging his effort. Elira clapped softly, her laughter like a delicate chime in the forest. You are learning, she said, eyes twinkling. Most outsiders would give up, frustrated that the plants do not respond immediately. I'm not an outsider, Liam replied with a grin. I'm a student and you are my teacher. Her smile widened, though she quickly masked it with a look of seriousness. Then you must remember, teaching also requires patience. You cannot rush the forest and you cannot rush understanding. Over the next cycle, Liam experienced more of Elira's world. He helped repair floating bridges by weaving small glowing vines, learned the art of creating temporary light patterns in the air for communication, and even participated in a quiet meditation with the elders, where he was asked to reflect on his intentions, thoughts, and respect for the life around him. It was during this meditation that Liam began to truly understand the depth of Elira's culture. The bond, he realized, was not about claiming another person. It was about trust, empathy, and shared respect for life. The gesture he had made by helping her was interpreted as a claim, yes, but the real meaning was revealed through understanding and connection. Elira watched him carefully during these activities, sometimes correcting his mistakes, sometimes letting him find his own way. She began to relax around him, no longer frozen in the fear of accidental possession. Slowly, she started asking questions about Earth, about human life, and about Liam himself. "You come from a world very different from ours," she said one evening, sitting beside him on a softly glowing bridge. "Do humans understand the bonds of nature?" Liam thought for a moment. "Some do, some try. But most humans, we don't always notice how connected we are to the world. We take things for granted, I think. I'm trying to be different here, to see the world as it is, not just as I want it to be." Elira nodded thoughtfully. "Then perhaps you are ready to learn more than just our customs. Perhaps you are ready to understand the meaning behind them." The following day, the elders invited Liam to witness a traditional ceremony, one that demonstrated the bonds between Elira's people and their environment. In a central clearing, a circle of glowing vines rose from the ground, weaving together to form an intricate pattern. Each elder touched the vines, and the plants responded, bending, glowing, and humming in harmony with their movements. Liam was asked to participate. Hesitant at first, he mimicked the motions he had observed, focusing on his intentions and respect. Slowly, the vines responded to him, bending gently and pulsating with light. Elira's eyes sparkled as she watched, pride and amazement clear in her expression. "You see," one elder explained, "the bond is not just with each other. It is with the life around us. To claim someone is to also honor their connection to this world." Liam nodded, understanding finally dawning on him. His accidental gesture had been interpreted as a claim, yes, but what mattered now was how he honored that bond. It was not ownership, it was respect, learning, and partnership. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of violet and gold, Liam and Elira walked back to their resting place. The forest glowed softly around them, and Liam felt a sense of calm he had never known before. "You have done well," Elira said softly. "Most would struggle with patience, with understanding. You have shown both," Liam smiled. "I've had a great teacher." She glanced at him, her eyes reflecting the light of the forest. "Perhaps there is hope for the bond, for understanding, for friendship." That night, as they settled near the glowing pond, Liam reflected on everything he had learned. He had come to Valora expecting adventure and discovery, but he had found something deeper, a world full of life, a culture full of wisdom, and a connection that transcended species. Elira watched him thoughtfully, realizing that the bond she had feared was not one of possession, but of trust. She began to feel a sense of anticipation rather than worry, curious about what the future might hold for them. Two beings from different worlds, learning to understand each other and the universe around them. And in the quiet of Valora's forest, under a sky alive with color and light, Liam and Elira began the slow, careful process of building a connection that respected both their worlds, their cultures, and the living harmony that bound them together. For Liam, this was more than a journey of exploration. It was a lesson in patience, respect, and the extraordinary power of understanding. For Elira, it was the first step in opening her heart and mind to possibilities beyond what she had ever imagined. As the first stars appeared in Valora's sky, their light mingling with the planet's gentle glow, Liam knew that this journey had only just begun, and that the bond between him and Elira would continue to grow, not because of accident or tradition, but because of curiosity, empathy, and shared discovery. The morning light shimmered through the canopy, filling the air with a soft golden glow. Liam opened his eyes slowly, listening to the gentle hum of Valora's forest. Every sound seemed alive. The rhythm of the trees, the whisper of glowing leaves, the quiet song of the air. He had spent several cycles on this world now, and every moment had changed him in ways he couldn't describe. Elira was already awake, sitting by the pond where they often rested. Her silver-blue skin reflected the early light, and her hair drifted gently as if touched by an unseen breeze. She looked calm, but her eyes held something deeper, a mix of thought and emotion. "Today is the final day," she said softly without turning. "The elders will decide what happens next, whether the bond remains or fades." Liam nodded slowly, standing beside her. "I'll accept whatever they decide. I just want to thank them, and you, for letting me learn." Elira looked at him for a long moment. "You have learned much," she said, "and not just about our world. You have learned patience, respect, and silence. You have listened, truly listened, and that is rare." He smiled, humbled by her words. "I couldn't have done it without you." They walked together through the glowing forest toward the heart of the village. The air around them shimmered, with morning colors, and the vines above moved gently as though greeting them. Liam could feel the life of the planet pulsing beneath his feet, a rhythm he had learned to understand. It was as if Valora itself knew that something important was about to happen. When they reached the village, the elders were waiting in the great clearing. The circle of glowing vines that had once surrounded the ceremony space now pulsed brighter, responding to their presence. The eldest, with silver skin like liquid moonlight, stepped forward. "Liam," the elder said, "you have walked among us. You have observed, learned, and respected. You have shown humility, curiosity, and kindness. Now it is time to complete the circle. The bond must be understood." Elira stood beside him, her hands clasped before her. "He did not come here to claim me," she said. "He came to understand. And in doing so, he has honored us." The elder nodded slowly. "Understanding is the first step toward harmony. The ceremony of reflection will now begin. Both of you will walk the path of light, a journey through memory and truth. It will reveal what lies in your hearts." Liam felt a mix of nervousness and wonder. "What must I do?" he asked. "Follow her," the elder said simply. "Let your heart speak louder than your words." The vines opened, forming a glowing tunnel that led deep into the forest. Elira looked at him and smiled faintly. "This is the place where bonds are truly seen," she said. "It will show us who we are and what we mean to each other." They entered the tunnel together. The light around them shifted as they walked, soft blues, gentle greens, and warm golds swirling like living mist. The air hummed softly, and each step made the ground glow beneath their feet. Soon the tunnel opened into a vast space filled with floating lights. It was like walking through the stars. Each light pulsed gently, and as Liam reached out, one of them touched his hand, showing a faint image of Earth, his home. He saw himself as a child staring up at the sky, dreaming of the stars. Elira watched the vision with quiet fascination. "That is your world?" she asked softly. "Yes," he said. "That's where I began. I always wanted to explore, to see what was out there. But I never thought I'd find this." The light faded, and another appeared, this time showing Elira as a child, running through Valora's glowing forests. Her laughter filled the space, light and pure. She reached out to the plants, and they responded to her touch, glowing brighter. Liam smiled. "You were always connected to this world. It is part of me," she said quietly. "But until you came, I never thought there could be more beyond it." The lights around them grew stronger, swirling faster, forming patterns that surrounded them. Liam felt warmth in his chest, not fear but connection. He could sense Elira's emotions as if they were his own. Curiosity, confusion, hope, and beneath it all, a deep, growing respect. "This path," Elira said, "shows us truth. It reveals the strength of a bond. For us, a bond is not about ownership. It is about trust, shared purpose, and balance. When two lives meet and respect each other, the bond grows naturally." Liam nodded, understanding now more than ever. "Then maybe," he said softly, "our bond isn't an accident. Maybe it was meant to teach us both something." Elira's eyes softened. "Perhaps. The universe brings souls together for reasons we do not always see." As they continued, the path began to change. The lights pulsed faster, merging into shapes that reflected their shared journey. The first meeting, the misunderstanding, the learning, and the growing connection. Liam could feel the planet's presence all around, as if Valora itself was watching, approving. When they reached the end of the path, a wide pool of glowing water lay before them. Its surface was perfectly still, like a mirror made of light. The elder's voice echoed faintly around them. To complete the ceremony, you must speak your truth. Only then will the bond be understood for what it truly is. Elira stepped forward first. Her voice was clear and calm, but her eyes shone with emotion. When he came, I feared him. I thought he had taken something from me. But now I see, he gave me something instead. He gave me understanding. He showed me that respect is not bound by species or world. It is a choice, to listen, to learn, and to see. She turned to Liam. If the bond remains, I will not see it as a claim. I will see it as a connection, a bridge between our worlds. Liam felt his chest tighten. He took a deep breath, stepping beside her. When I came here, I wanted to explore. I thought discovery meant finding new things to record and study. But Elira, you taught me that discovery is about connection. You showed me that the universe isn't something to conquer. It's something to understand. He paused, looking into the glowing pool. I don't want to own this bond. I want to honor it. I want to be a friend to your people and to your world. The pool glowed brighter, and for a moment, everything around them shimmered. The light rose, swirling around them like a living wind. Elira gasped softly as the glow settled gently into their hands, forming two tiny symbols, matching marks of light. The elder's voice spoke again, calm and full of warmth. The bond is not one of possession. It is one of understanding. You are now linked as friends, as learners, as bridge-bearers between your kinds. Elira looked at the glowing mark on her hand, then at Liam's. They pulsed in unison, gentle and steady. Does this mean... Liam began. It means... Elira said softly, smiling, that our connection is true, but it belongs to both of us equally. It is not bound by our customs anymore. It is something new, something we created together. They returned to the village hand in hand, the light from the marks still glowing faintly. The elders awaited them, eyes shining with approval. The eldest bowed slightly. You have taught us as we have taught you. Perhaps your people and ours are not so different. You understand now. The power of empathy, patience, and respect. That is the foundation of all bonds. Liam felt a wave of peace wash over him. Thank you, he said sincerely. I will share what I've learned, not just about your world, but about your way of living. Elira looked at him, her smile calm and full of quiet pride. And I will remember you, Liam of Earth, the human who came not to take, but to learn. As the suns of Valora began to set, painting the sky with glowing gold and blue, Liam stood on a high bridge overlooking the forest. The trees shimmered below, their light pulsing softly in rhythm with the world's quiet heartbeat. Elira stood beside him, silent but content. Will you stay? She asked gently. Liam hesitated, looking at the stars above. I can't, he said. My mission was to explore and report back. But I promise, I will return. I'll tell my people about Valora, about your kindness, and the harmony you live in. Maybe one day humans and your people can learn from each other. Elira nodded. Then I will wait. Not as one bound, but as one who understands. The next morning, Liam's small exploration craft rose slowly from the planet's surface. Elira watched from below, the wind gently brushing through her hair. The mark on her hand glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the ship's ascent. She smiled, knowing this was not an ending, but a beginning, a promise of connection across the stars. High above Valora, Liam looked down one last time. The planet shimmered beneath him like a jewel wrapped in light. He felt the bond still pulsing faintly in his hand, not a tie of obligation, but of friendship. As his ship turned toward the stars, Liam whispered softly, Thank you, Elira. And far below, in the glowing forests of Valora, Elira whispered in return, her voice carried by the wind, And thank you, Liam of Earth. Their words were lost to space, but their meaning remained. Two hearts from different worlds, bound not by accident or claim but by understanding, kindness, and the shared beauty of discovery.